I wasn't going to make a video on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. In fact, I wasn't even going to touch it. But after being disappointed in Watch Dogs Legion, subscribe for the review, by the way, it's coming next week, I decided I didn't want to waste the rest of my monthly subscription to Ubisoft Plus. So I installed Valhalla, and I think I'm in love. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the 12th major installment in the franchise, but it's only the third game after Ubisoft decided to take Assassin's Creed more into the RPG direction. That transition started in 2017 with Assassin's Creed Origins. I played it and thought it was okay, it just didn't feel like the Assassin's Creed I'd been such a fan of for 10 years. Then Odyssey came out and continued that transition, but I just didn't enjoy the game. Yeah, the world was pretty, but the gameplay was too focused on grinding, and I just couldn't bring myself to finish it. Here with Valhalla, Ubisoft finally hit their stride. This new Assassin's Creed formula is at its absolute best. One of the biggest complaints with Odyssey was the characters. For the first time ever in the series, you were able to select your gender. You could play as Alexios, who was bland and unlikable with terrible voice acting, or you could play as Cassandra, who had better voice acting, but was just as bland and unlikable. In Valhalla, you play as Ivor, and that's constant no matter which gender you select. The voice acting here is just so much better for the adult Ivar. It isn't the best and it won't stand out because of how good it is, but it also won't stand out for being awful like it did in Odyssey. And in my opinion, that is a perfectly fine place to be.
Father, you should have held on to this until the bitter end.
Well, that's for the adult Ivor. In the opening of the game, you play as a little baby child Ivor, and maybe I'm being overly critical, but the voice acting sounds off. Give it a listen.
King, may our clans be forever bonded in friendship and love.
Maybe it's just me. I don't know. You have two main world spaces that you will traverse through. You have Norway, which is your clan's homeland. It's mostly water with bits of frozen landscape for you to explore. The second is England, which is the land that you have come to start a settlement in. It's larger and more diverse with grasslands, forests, and swamps. Unfortunately, they fell into the same trap as Odyssey. They have a large, beautifully created open world, but it feels quite empty in places with a lot of time either running or sailing to point A and point B. And you do that a lot because the narrative loves to take you all across the map. That narrative was my biggest concern about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's important to address it. This is a Viking story first and foremost. If you're an old school Assassin's Creed fan like I am, you will not find that traditional story you are probably looking for. The assassins do still have a place in the story, but it's more minor than you would expect for a majority of it. I'm saying this, but you shouldn't throw it out. It might not be the traditional Assassin's Creed, but it is still a story worth experiencing. Like I just said, this is a Viking game with a Viking story. And what do we know about the Vikings? Well, they were incredibly brutal. And boy oh boy, does this combat live up to its expectations brutality-wise. Gameplay-wise, not so much. For the most part, it feels the same as it did in Odyssey. You can lock on, strafe, dodge, and parry. You have light and heavy attacks as well as a bunch of different special abilities you can equip. You can also choose between different weapons and armor styles depending on your playstyle. That playstyle that you can craft on your own by taking perks and the absurdly large skill tree. The combat really shines most in the large Viking raids. You and your clan can raid tiny settlements or large monasteries that are marked on your map. You pull your ship ashore and with the sounding of your horn, your men charge into battle. You charge headfirst into the enemies as the skies turn orange from your men burning the villages down. During the chaos, you get help from your clan to loot all of the treasures available. Like I said, it's a Viking game. After you successfully completed a raid by looting all of the supplies, you can return to your home settlement of Ravensthorpe. There you build homes, shops, or production buildings to benefit you and grow your settlement. Once you build the docks, you can customize your ship. Build a fishing hut and you unlock the ability to go fishing during your journeys. Build a tattoo shop and you can customize the hairstyle, color, and, of course, that tattoos on Ivor. You can also purchase different customization options from traders you encounter. Although they need to fix this because when you purchase the customization schematic, you have no idea what it will look like. It would be really nice to have a preview option available before I waste silver on something that ends up just looking stupid. And those are my thoughts on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It shouldn't have Assassin's Creed in the name, but it's still a good game. It has rightfully earned its InputSource Must Play award with its rating of 9 out of 10. Seriously, please give it a chance. Thank you for watching our review of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe. You can keep up with us outside of YouTube over on Twitter and Instagram at InputSource or by using the link in the description. Game links can be found down there as well. Once again, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.